Welcome again to Life Esteem. Always great to have you as a viewer. And today we're going to talk to a photographer who really has a tremendous eye. Her name is Sheila Smith, a Harrisburg native here. I'm going to call her that anyhow. And I think she was born and raised here in Harrisburg. And also a writer, very fine writer. And Sheila, I've known you throughout the years. You've been on it. You really are a great photographer.
Yes, indeed.
Thank you so much for doing the show. Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you for bringing in some of your samples of your works and everything. And I want to hold this one up right off the bat just to kind of show. I love this picture here. You say this is a friend of yours out of New York City. Is that right?
Yes.
Man, oh man, what a great picture that is. And you know, over the years, you have just captured so many wonderful images of people. And this is just one. I really like that picture. And so, you know, when did you get into photography and how long have you been doing it?
I have been involved in photography since 1972.
Okay.
And I got involved because I have 5 children. I was at a stage in my life where I needed to make real decisions. I decided to try and further my education. So I applied for HAC. I got into HAC. I thought this would be so easy, you know, and I got hooked.
All right. Fantastic. And one of the people that I know, you have a picture of Dr. Alfreda Johnson.
You want to put that one up?
Yeah, because I have to show her. That was my buddy too. Oh my goodness, Dr. Johnson is, of course, was one of my teachers and mentors. And I'm sorry, I got our cameraman jumping around here. He was going to show, but there she is.
Yeah,
and I think when
picture.
people see, beautiful picture of her. You took this picture where?
Up at HAC.
Up at HAC,
on the balcony of Cooper Center.
And she's retired, professor there from HAC, actually counselor there at Harrisburg Area Community College, and was my high school teacher. And you said you had a teacher.
I had her for math and Camp Curtin, and then she was one of my instructors at HAC.
And one of the reasons why I wanted to hold this up because she also took a photography course and had this wonderful display of men and their children. And I remember we used it at the Fatherhood Conference a couple of times. So, you know, she must have gotten the bug as well, huh?
Yeah, she did.
Well, one of the things I noticed, Sheila, there's a lot of pictures of people, okay, but also this beautiful one here. You want to hold that up,
Sure, I can hold this up.
It just has such a serene feel, and you said that was taken in
Marietta.
And just the colors and all that really highlight that whole fall type era in that. But that's just awesome. So do you do not just, obviously not just people, but you do scenery and things of that. Do you have a preference of your photography? What kinds of things did you do?
Well, I was born in Susquehanna Township in a rural area, and so I love nature. I love trees, anything natural.
Right.
I'm drawn to it. But I do love people too. I like faces.
Yeah,
you know, I like faces. I like moods. I like everything. You know, I have no specific preference.
Okay.
Yeah. And you know, one of the things that drew me to you, and we were talking about a few months back about trying to do a project which we were going to do together.
Yes.
And it had to do with all the pictures you've taken over the years of people that we know, you know, and a lot of people have now, you know, dearly departed kind of thing. But you've captured, since 1972, a lot of the history, especially of the African American community in the Harrisburg area.
Only because they were my subjects. You know, I learned from all the people around me. I love Harrisburg. I love the people. And they were kind and gracious enough to sit still for me. And the ones that didn't, I caught them on the fly. You know, but the community was very instrumental in my development.
Well, this is one here I like too, because one of the things that I know that Reverend Nate has coming up here is the fatherhood and family celebration. And this one of a father with his, I guess, daughter?
That's a mother and daughter.
It's a mother?
Yeah, that's an afro.
Oh, okay, I apologize.
That was back in the day.
Yeah, but anyway, it's a family celebration, and that's what we're going to be doing on June 14th. Are you going to be there with some of your...
I have a wedding.
Oh, do you? Yeah. Oh, that's not good.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to be able to show that, but we really want people to come out because we're talking about family, how important family is. But show this one. I love this one here. And he's going to come to you. He's going to come to you, so you can show it.
Okay.
You can pick up and show that one,
Yeah.
Now tell me about that one, because I thought it was so cute what you said.
We were at camp, the Camp Shikalimi, and he had to go to the bathroom, and his mother told him to go behind the bushes. And he went behind the bushes, and 2 minutes later, he come flying out. He said, "It's dark back there," and he just proceeded to relieve himself right where he was.
Oh, I thought that was so cute.
That's cute. So, you got into, photography, and you decided, what have you learned over the years that, because you said you thought it was going to be easy, and it's not as easy as you thought.
No,
so what does it
it's
take
not.
to be a really good top-notch photographer like yourself?
Well, I learned photography in an era where we did test strips. You had to know about chemistry. You had to know about lighting, the temperature of light. I did basically a lot of darkroom work. And then it got to be instant. And it's like, oh my God, what happened? You know what I mean? But because I learned the old-fashioned way, it made the transition to digital a lot easier for me.
Okay, good. Okay.
What do you prefer?
Film.
Okay, just anything.
I like film.
you
I like
film.
film.
Okay.
I think you can get a better quality photograph from film.
Okay.
And then I'm just nostalgic and old-fashioned.
Yeah.
My family says I'm a tween between the old and the new.
Yeah. But the point is you can do them both, though.
Yes,
you're
I can.
proficient in both. Now, I noticed even in your home, you have like sort of a dark room, so you can develop
Yes,
your
I
own
do.
pictures. Okay.
I do just black and white at home, but
Okay.
I can't be without a dark room. I love it. I like the smell of the chemistry. I just like the aspects of traditional photography.
So now, do you prefer black and white or color? Because I've heard that debate also.
I like black and white because we see in color.
Okay.
And you get used to seeing things in color, but with black and white, you have to allow yourself to experience it. Because it's different. You get a different feeling. You get a different tonal value from the subject material, and it's just different, in my opinion.
Yeah. Huh.
Wow.
Pat and I were in New Orleans, and we stumbled on this wonderful exhibition by, oh my goodness, Gordon Parks.
Okay, I love him.
Oh,
Yes,
so
wonderful.
you know Gordon Parks, you're familiar
Yeah.
with working
And
with him.
James Van Der Zee.
James
Yes.
Van Der Zee, the Harlem Renaissance
Yes.
photographer, yes indeed. So Monty Slate out of Ebony Magazine, who recently passed. So was there someone that you followed and patterned yourself after, or you just kind of developed your own unique eye? How
I
does that
think
work?
I developed my own eye. I am familiar with the other legendary greats, and I do love them. But then I felt like in order for me to express myself, I would have to find out where I fit in, and I still haven't figured it out yet. But I basically respond to what inspires me.
Okay.
And I've learned over the years that I am a geometrical person. I respond to lines. I like lines and forms and shapes. And I can give you a perfect example. Can I show you
Sure,
something?
please do.
Sure.
Okay, this one.
This one here? Okay, you want to fold that one up? Here, put it
Let
here.
me hold it, that way you can talk.
Okay.
You don't have to worry about all that.
Okay, I can pull it.
Yeah, that's okay. It's better for me to hold it.
So you want to talk about that?
I stumbled upon that in San Diego, California at Seaport Village, and it just spoke to me.
What exactly
in the
is
beginning, it's the root of a tree,
Okay.
but it looks like something else, and it just caught my attention. I photographed it. When I got home, I looked at it good, and it's like, oh, you can put your own interpretation on it.
That is beautiful. I was thinking to myself, am I looking at an animal somewhere here too? And no, but you're right. It just kind of captures your imagination. Yes, it's that. So, part of what I know about you also is that you have thousands of pictures.
Yes, I do.
And a lot of them you've framed, you've matted, the whole bit.
Yes.
So just to come into your space is like, going into a whole nother
Gallery,
world,
a
right?
gallery itself,
Yes,
yeah.
it is. So have you ever had an exhibition of just your works?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
And I had it last year. Rich Summers down at the gallery on Walnut Street, or Walnut Place, had me a solo exhibit.
Wonderful.
But it was at a time when the weather was bad and nobody showed up.
Oh, no.
Although I did get a lot of traffic. I did sell 5 pieces,
Okay.
which was remarkable for the conditions that we were operating under. But I had a choice of choosing the times, and I picked January.
Oh, Lord.
But it's like,
Yeah.
it is what it
It
is.
is
You
what
know
it
what I
is.
mean?
So one of the things we've talked about is trying to get, your exhibit up, and because one of the things I said before, you've captured a lot of Harrisburg traditional history. I think people would just be fascinated by a walk through time almost to see your works. So one of the things that we're hoping to do is sometime this summer or early fall is to have an exhibit of Sheila Smith, and just really set it out. So we're going to work on that and make that happen. So we'll make that a promise.
Let's see this one here. I want to see this because I just think this is a beautiful young lady. And tell us about this one.
This was in 1979. That's Miss Chili Pepper, 1979, when the Penn Harris Hotel was downtown, and the Senate Theater and the Colonial Theater, and it was just a bygone era. I have old photographs of the hotels that were on the square at the time, and this one is just
I'm gonna keep them coming.
some of our friends in Reservoir Park.
Okay.
Before the museum was at the flat top, there
sure.
were lots and lots and lots of folks.
There was a time in Reservoir Park you just went and got yourself a picnic basket, took the family out there, and just kind of hung out. Really cool. We're going to keep showing you a couple pictures here, and you just keep talking, tell us about some things we're seeing. This is pretty unique here, too.
That is the Senate Theater at a time when Miss Chili Pepper 1979 was hot.
And by the way, now, Senate Theater was located where?
Where the Hilton Hotel is right now.
That's right. Yeah, right downtown there. So they were kind of jamming on the square at the time, huh?
Yes, we had regular concerts and activities.
Okay, fantastic. And this is this one is right in fitting with the weekend that we just passed. That's the Harris Street VFW. VFW, okay.
Yes. They had an event in Pittsburgh, and I was privileged to go along with them, and I have plenty of photographs of the parade.
Oh, that was actually out in Pittsburgh.
Yes.
That particular, beautiful, okay. This is a gentleman who has a tremendous amount of history in the city. And who is that?
That's Robbie Lewis.
And the lady standing next to her?
Karen Reed. Marcia Reeves.
Marcia Reeves, that's right. Marcia happens to be a member of our church, in fact, and I hope that we got to make sure Marcia sees us. And tell us a little bit about the gentleman, because he's quite a legend.
Okay, well, we were like all teenagers of our time, and our mother knew that we had bad habits of trying to get into places we were not supposed to be. And she gave Mr. Lewis instructions. If you see my girls anywhere they're not supposed to be, kick them out.
Yes, indeed.
And he did that faithfully.
Robbie Lewis was the director of the PAL, Police Athletic League, which is located down on 3rd Street. And at that time, they had boxing programs, which actually aired on TV. He had a basketball league. He did a little bit of everything. He was a police officer.
Yes,
and he was like larger-than-life presence. And what a great gentleman he was. He just really touched the lives of so many young people, especially in mine as well. We were all part of that POW experience. And then Marcia, of course, became the founder of the Children of Africa School. She also led the help office and also the Pride of the Neighborhood.
And the Girls, Girls
Inc. Girls Inc. She's been a tremendous asset in this community. And this picture here.
That is my granddaughter when she was a little girl.
How old is she now?
She's 22.
You got to be kidding me.
And every time she sees that picture, she goes, "Grandma, please don't show that."
Don't
but
show
I
that
love
picture.
it.
That's a great picture. Look at that expression.
And she still has that expression.
She still has that.
Still going strong, huh?
Yeah, you want to show this?
Fantastic. Yeah, this is a beautiful one,
That
too.
is
if I don't
really
mind
beautiful.
holding this up.
That is
It's truly beautiful.
Now, I
coming
love
down
this.
Route 1115
Okay.
in Cumberland County.
Look at the colors in that picture.
Pick it up a little bit.
Look at the colors, yeah.
Oh, that's just gorgeous. You would come down 11:15 when you
Yes.
shot that.
I love the fall, but I'll take the summer right now. After that winter we had, let's stay with the summer. And we'll put this down. And then one big one here, I'll pick this up as well. And then we'll just kind of talk a little bit after. I'll show this. Let's see if I get that straight. Got that? Okay. Yeah.
All right,
Whoa.
that's one of my favorites. That's in Point Loma, California.
Oh, boy.
I love the solitariness of the two rocks. It just spoke to me.
Wow, that is
beautiful.
beautiful. Now, I have to ask you a question because I think your work is just outstanding. So have you ever submitted your work to the National Geographic, like that picture in particular, or even this fall picture, to places like that?
No, I have not.
Okay.
And I can't explain it. I just, whenever things occur in my life that make me frustrated, rather than dwell on them and bump my head against the wall,
Yeah.
I usually will call a timeout, change directions, and go do something else.
Yeah.
So in the course of all these pictures, rather than submit them and wait for somebody to respond, I just kept going. You know, now I'm at a stage where they have run me out of house and home completely.
You do have
And
some
I have
pictures.
nothing else to do but try and share them with other people.
I really truly hope that we can do an exhibit that is worthy of your work, that maybe those kinds of agencies and outlets will seek you out, because I really think that you have a wonderful eye, you know. You've also traveled, you mentioned California, but you traveled great parts of the world.
I
Tell us about
did.
some places you've been
I
to.
have been to Europe 4 times.
Okay.
The first time I went to Germany, and in the course of being in Germany, I went to Switzerland, I went to Amsterdam, I traveled all over Germany, I went to Cologne, I went to Berlin, and the whole time I was taking pictures.
And what
So
did
I
you
have-
find different about their culture or that experience that, you know, when you were taking those pictures? Does anything jump out
I
at
love
you?
the people.
Okay.
I love the people. I like the fact that their homes are designed for the garden to be in the back. You know, the garden in the back, they have their living space in the back. The kitchen is in the front, and it was explained to me, I hope I get this right, that usually during the dinner hour, traffic is dying down. You can have your activity, and if you want peace and quiet, and you go to your living room and it's facing your garden, it makes it more pleasant for you to enjoy your space. And it's very calming.
Yeah.
You know, after a certain period of time, the traffic lights go off by themselves to save energy. And I just like the people. You know, they were very friendly to me. I heard a lot of horror stories. You know, you're a minority female traveling alone in Europe, and this will happen and that'll happen. None of it happened.
Okay.
Everybody was warm and welcoming, and I loved it. The second time I went to Spain, and then I went to Portugal, and then I went to Africa, and I was all over Spain. I was in Ronda and Sevilla, and I just had a wonderful time.
All by yourself?
Yeah.
Okay.
The last time I went with my girlfriend.
All right.
We had twice as much fun. But it was very nice. I had a good time. I learned a lot. It made me appreciate the lifestyle we enjoy in America. My last experience was in Morocco, where I learned that there is no real middle class. You're either rich or you're poor. And I got a chance to see real poverty. And, you know, I hear children and adults say, "Oh, I'm hungry." And I can look at them and know that they are not hungry. You know, the concept of hunger and poverty are totally different in other parts of the world.
Wow. Yes, indeed. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. Frightening, but true. Absolutely true. And if more of our young people realize that, maybe they would
Yes.
do. Yeah. So, man, oh man. You know, I want to show this a couple more pictures you have here, if you don't mind. I'm going to show this one.
No, I don't.
Here. Yeah, let's get this one here. Let's see. And tell us about this. Beautiful
That
picture.
is a young lady. Her name is Tanya. I'm sorry, I've forgotten her last name, but she's a singer.
Oh, okay.
And she posed for me to do some album cover photos, and I just love that one.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
And this one has a lot of significance to it. I mean, it speaks volumes when I look at this, and I want you to explain this one to us.
Okay, I did a photo shoot for Head Start in Carlisle, Pennsylvania, and I did all the children, but then after the shoot was over, I went in to watch the kids play, and this child did not care. I learned that children have to be taught certain things, and you know, all the pictures that I ever see, they have a black child with a white doll, but that was the opposite. Kids don't care.
Yeah.
You know, you have to make them aware
Right.
of cultural differences. And she just wanted a doll.
Isn't that
you know,
something?
and I love the fact that she's not paying attention. She's playing.
Yeah.
You
okay.
know.
That's
Beautiful
amazing.
picture. So part of the eye then of the photographer, because you're a storyteller, and then you
Yes.
can interpret each one of these pictures as we go through. Tell us about that process of being a storyteller.
I started off as a writer.
Okay.
And when I was younger, I would write Dear Mrs. Jones letters. That's my mom, you know, and it got me into all kinds of trouble because I would explain to her why I felt what she was doing was not to my well-being.
Wow.
And she would tell me, if you touch that pencil again. But it didn't stop me. You know, I love to write and express myself, and I feel like the Lord blessed me in a lot of ways because being able to write my feelings down and to visually express them was my salvation in a lot of ways because it kept me out of a lot of trouble I could have gotten into, and it just helped me as a person grow and develop.
You know, I'm a amateur playwright, but I love stories. I love movies and that kind of stuff. As soon as you said that, Dear Mrs. Jones letters, I could see that almost being a play or a novel or something.
My God.
That is so wonderful.
Wow.
I bet your mom didn't think so at the time, but
No,
it's still.
she didn't, but I have tons of
Did
them.
you?
I have boxes and
Oh, my
boxes
goodness.
and boxes
Wow.
because whenever I would get into a dilemma, I would write it down, you know, and I've had friends that say that's what got everybody in trouble. Don't you watch the movies?
Yeah, yeah.
Writing stuff down, but I just can't help it. It's something that I do and that I like.
You're a published poet.
Yes, I am.
Okay, talk about
Well,
that a
no,
little bit.
not a published poet. I have I published a book of poetry that I did not write.
Okay.
Somebody else wrote it,
Oh, okay.
but then I did photographs for their book,
Oh, okay.
and we had it published like that. The book was done in 1980, and it's called Ebony Fire.
Yeah.
It's in the Library of Congress.
Oh, is it?
It was a hit in its day, but
it
like
was.
everything else, at the time I did the book, I was short on funds, so I got 100 printed, and I divided it up. I gave one author 25, another author 25, 25 for me and 25 for publicity. And I went to Washington, D.C. during that point, and one of the people I came in contact with said, bring me 500 in the morning.
Yeah, all right.
It's like, how am I going to get 500 in the morning? You know what I mean? So that never materialized, but it was a good learning experience for me.
But I will tell you, I've seen copies of it. Of course, you know, I have
Okay.
seen. And it is timeless. So what we need to do is we need to revisit Ebony Fire.
Okay.
And let's make that a project of the Writers' Workshop and see
Okay.
whether or not we can help to resurrect that, because it really was a really good project. And I think the combination of the prose and poetry as well as the pictures will speak even to today. Okay? So let's see what we can do with that.
Now, are
Sounds
you
good.
continuing your
I do.
photography and your
Yes.
writings? You're doing both
Yes,
those?
I am. I have a book upcoming. I'm doing actually 2 of them at the
Oh,
same
wow.
time. I figured that would get the job done faster. The one is going to be of my works. It's called Our Community Back in the Day. That's the old pictures, the growing pictures. And the other one is going to be how I arrived at the point that I got to that point. You know what I
Right.
mean? One's going to explain it, one's going to show you what it is.
We, Pat and I were blessed enough last year to go up to, where did we go? Providence, Rhode Island, along with the Pennsylvania Council on the Arts, and they took some 19 to 20 artists from around the state of Pennsylvania. And thanks to Sharon Battles and the other young lady, beautiful people at the Pennsylvania Council, and we had a chance to interface with artists from all over the country, literally. You need to be on that bus next time they go, because I don't know if you interface with the Pennsylvania Council as much. Do you know Sharon at all?
No, I do not.
Okay,
And
listen, I'm introducing you to Sharon Battles because she's a treasure.
Absolutely, that'd
She's
be
right
wonderful
here in
for you.
Harrisburg, and also, and I'm so sorry for the other young lady who's such a treasure as well. And they both do a wonderful job. The whole council does. And you need to be introduced to them. They need to know about you, and they have wonderful funding opportunities. And
Okay.
so an artist like yourself, who is really, I mean, you just capture so much history here that they're looking for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not hard to find.
You know,
now.
we're going to make sure they find you, because I'm telling you, you would fit right in, and the way you explain your works and everything is just, we can't keep this a secret too much longer here, right?
Well, I've been hiding for a long time. And
Now, you do a lot of weddings and stuff still,
Yes,
is that
I
right?
do.
Okay, how can people reach you if they're interested in you as a photographer?
Right now, I do have business cards. I have an email address. I do not have a website. A lot of my work has been word of mouth and referrals. I've done tons of weddings. And there's no way for me to explain this other than the fact that I have been low-key. I have wanted to focus on my work rather than the publicity surrounding me as a person or me as an artist, because it kept me stable, it kept me balanced, and the more I worked on my projects, the better it was for me, because basically I am a workaholic. And I just shied away from the public publicity side, you know, but I'm better now. And hopefully I would like to leave something for my children and my grandchildren to know that all the sacrifices they made to help me get to this point, because I did not go to college until I was in my 30s. I went with 5 kids. It's like, okay, kids, come on, we're going to do this. And they were very cooperative. They were very helpful. I owe a lot of my success to my family because they stuck with me. I know you can't succeed with bad kids. It's very hard. And they pitched in, they helped me, and now I want to let them know that their sacrifices, as well as mine, were worthwhile, and leave something for my grandchildren to know about.
Did any of your children express interest in photography?
None of them.
None of them.
That's okay.
Yeah, that's all right. That happens.
Everybody has their own path, their own track, you know.
But now, the little face on the top,
this little one right
she is
here.
in college right now.
She's in college.
And I think she has the potential to be a writer only
Is that
because I've read some of her Dear Mom letters.
She did
And
Dear
I
Mom
know
letters.
that, and I know that it's in her. She just has not found her voice yet.
Sure.
Right.
That's fantastic.
Okay.
Well, I can't thank you enough for coming on the show.
Yes,
This
indeed.
has been
Bringing all
fantastic.
your wonderful art,
Absolutely.
photography,
Thank you very
everything.
much.
And if you don't mind, I'm going to hold this picture up one more time so I can show. We're going to end up with this here because this is Robbie Lewis, the late Robbie Lewis, a great leader of the Pennsylvania POW, Police Athletic League, and also my buddy, Marsha Reeves, who's
All right.
still going strong. And
Yes,
Marsha's
indeed.
been quite a community activist, and you captured both of them so beautifully. And I tell you, I just hope more and more people discover you. If you're interested in getting in touch with Sheila Smith, just contact me. We'll be happy to talk to you about it. I mean, she's busy all the time. People know you so well. And we hope that you'll continue to have yourself a blessed day and continue to watch this program called Life Esteem. We'll see you next time here on Life Esteem. Goodbye. Good.